presentamos la primera conferencia, invitando a Tom Haak, el director del HR Trend Institute, que nos acompaña desde Países Bajos. Ha titulado su presentación "No olvides estas tendencias clásicas de recursos humanos". Esta sesión es presentada por dos de los sponsors oro, iSpring y Coursera. Bienvenido, Tom. Adelante.
Hi, my name is Tom Haak, founder of the HR Trend Institute, and I'm very happy to talk to you here at Fiat again. I talked the last years, 2023 is a good year, and I have an opportunity again to address you. Today I want to talk to you about classic trends. Classic trends you always can take into account. I talk a lot about trends, and you can watch my videos on YouTube, or you can go to the website of the HR Trend Institute. The reality is that many of the trends are mega trends that don't change so fast. It's more about the adaptation. Unfortunately, the trends are there, but organizations are rather slow in using the trends. So you could say, challenge to you is, look at these classic trends and look how you in your organization can use them to increase the impact of HR, increase the impact of learning and development. Before talking about the classic trends, I want to give you two key messages. One is, let's never forget, you could say, let's never forget the basics of being human, our humanistic approach. When we respect people, when we listen to people, when we hear people, when we let people express their voice, when we be kind to people, those things are always very important. They have been important, but let's not forget them. We can focus on trends, we can focus on technology, but let's go back to those basics of a human approach all the time. There are unfortunately many organizations where even those basics are not met. Many people are not treated with respect. Many people are used as real human resources and not as people. So, key message number one, always true, let's not forget the basics. The second element I would like to express here, let's continuously look at the scope and the people we are doing things for. Sometimes it looks as if the whole world is knowledge workers, and that's not true. There are many people who are not knowledge workers. People in manufacturing, people in retail, people in transportation, people in the army, people in hospitals. And let's not forget those people. So let's not focus only on knowledge workers in offices, but let's pay attention to people in other areas as well. And the majority of workers are in those other areas. For example, also the package deliverers and the people working in the warehouses under often not fantastic circumstances. Don't forget the basics. 2, Not everybody is a knowledge worker. Key trends. Number one, and I'm sure also here at Fiat I've talked about that before, it's about personalization. Are you willing and able to take the individual wishes, needs and capabilities of people into account? And well, in the whole arena of HR, learning and development, there are many opportunities for personalization. Don't standardize, don't force things on everybody, but first try to find out, often by cleverly using data, how you can tailor your solutions to the wishes, needs and capabilities of people. So personalization always high on the list. Number two, classic trend is speed. Everything goes faster, and we have difficulty to adapt. And many solutions are too slow. Many solutions come after the fact and are not there when people really need them. And well, the biggest example, of course, in the arena of learning and development is as learning in the flow of work. We talk about it a lot, but if you look at the learning solutions, many of the learning solutions today are not in the flow of work. So, challenge to you, how can we get as close as possible to the actual work that people are doing and help them at the moment that they need it? That's just one element of speed. So personalization, speed. Number three is technology. Technology, classic. You could say, is it a trend? Yeah, of course it's a trend, but technology is one of the major drivers of change. Sometimes we maybe overestimate the possibilities of technology. There's a recent new wave of artificial intelligence with ChatGPT and other clever solutions. Well, artificial intelligence has been around quite a while, but now it seems, oh, we have AI and it will change the world very rapidly. Well, there are many opportunities to use AI in the workplace, use AI to improve the work of people, but at the same time we should be very cautious. It's not as if technology is taking over very rapidly. Recently I read about an interesting project. It's called something like the human brain, and in the human brain project, European project, a lot of money was put in the human brain project, and they were trying to build a computer that could really simulate the human brain. 10-year project. The project started in 2013. 10 years, so this was an article writing, what did we reach in 10 years? Well, nowhere near building a computer that could simulate the human brain. Even, and they took the smallest animal in the world, it's a worm, I forgot the name, a worm with, I think, 120 neurons, and even simulating the brain of that worm in a computer was not so easy. Yeah, well, there's a lot of room for improvement. Yes, we will work with technology, we can use technology, but technology will not take over humans very rapidly. The good news here is humans are here to stay, and there is room for humans. Here it is important to really use the technology in combination with human beings, and then enhance, you could say, the life, improve the life, enhance the life of people working in organizations, and not only focus on automation, but really also focus on enhancement. How can we improve the lives of people who are working, but maybe also the lives of people who are not working? So I talked about personalization, speed, technology. There's two other areas I want to mention in this short presentation. Another element, long-term trend, is, you could say, purpose, the need for purpose. And more people are looking for a purpose in their life and are looking for a purpose at work. They are looking at organizations, they are looking at employers who are really also changing the world and have the ability to change the world. And although you could say this is a long-term trend, still for many organizations it's really difficult to be very clear on what they are doing to improve the world. And there's a lot to say here. I don't want to make it a political statement, but there you see tension, the purpose of people, the purpose of organizations, how can they be aligned, and it will become more and more important. It has a lot to do with issues like sustainability, global warming and other sustainability issues, but also with the consequences of that, of partly the consequences of that. For example, the big flows of refugees around the world. And then the question is, what are we doing? What are we doing as organizations, but also what are we doing as professionals to help solve these important issues? I'm looking at my clock. I think I'm more or less fine. And the last area I would like to cover here is, like technology, one of the underlying important trends that has to do with analytics. Using thorough people analytics to drive what we are doing, to measure what we are doing, and to see how we can improve. And it's not only about using analytics, but it's also using the big reservoir of scientific knowledge that is available. Let's use the knowledge of science in our day-to-day work. And there's a lot of knowledge out there that we don't use. We sometimes think that we have to do everything anew. That's not necessary. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and I talk about analytics. The danger, one of the dangers of analytics is that we do it in an amateuristic way. That we say, oh, okay, we have to do some analytics, and then we give some people the assignment, they do some measurement, and then they draw conclusions which are statistically totally irrelevant. So better first look at what is available in the scientific, in science. All right, well, there's a lot to say. These were the areas I would like to cover today. There are more classic trends like experience. Do we give people a really positive experience? But maybe next year I can come back with another 5 classic trends. If you want more, I encourage you to visit the website of the HR Trend Institute, hrtrendinstitute.com. Have a look at my YouTube channel where there are various videos. Unfortunately, today there's no time for real interaction, but if you have questions, remarks, suggestions, please link to me on LinkedIn, ask me the question, and I will try to answer as good as possible. I wish everybody success during the conference, and I hope to see you next year at Fiat 2024. Adios.